Welcome back, guys, to another video on the channel. In this video, I'm going to show you some trading methods that can help you go from 100,000 coins to 500,000 coins. So if you're new around here, make sure you hit the subscribe button. But guys, the first trading method that I want to cover is regarding trading with the current team of the week, whether it's, last week or the week that it's going to come out when this video is coming out. So this was the last team of the week. The new team of the week has just been announced. It is 4:30 as I'm recording this. And we want to be trading with players that are between the ratings of 82 to 85, 86, but maybe 85, 86 players that are not really usable in game. So the example I'm actually going to use is Canales. So Canales is a player that's got two informs. He has an 86 rated and he has an 87. And what normally happens within the first couple of days of this 87 being dropped, which was last week, in a hunter, this card will fluctuate quite a lot because of course you've got to go out and buy this card at his base price at whatever it was, like 40k. Then you've got to apply a hunter card which could cost like 10, 12k, whatever the price may be. So essentially, within those first couple of days, because there's not many Hunters Canales 87 on the market, the price, tends to fluctuate quite a lot. And that's also including with other informs, such as Lucas Lever. The same principle applies. This card maybe costs like 28, 30,000, but then you go and apply a shadow card, that costs like 13, 14k, whatever it is. Then that total outlay for that shadow Lucas Lever is 44,000 coins. So this is the idea, is to maybe pick up on fluctuations within the first couple of days of team of the week and then sell them on for a good profit. Some other players you can also look at from what was from the last team of the week was Visca, Vanakin, Rebic. Of course, he went a lot higher because of the fact that Orsic got dropped to the headliner objective. So maybe he doesn't really apply. But as you can see, Goreskaric, whatever his name is, 84 shooting. You're just looking for some players with some decent stats. Like this Cordoba plays in a good league. Even though he's 81, this card's probably base card is like on the market, it's probably like 12,000 coins. But with a hunter, especially the first couple of days, this card goes for 23, 24k. And what will happen, people will put this card on the market for its base price and then you can able to sell it for a lot more. So going back to the example that I wanted to show you is Canales. So as I was saying, Canales has two informs. He has, like an 86 and an 87. So the cheapest 86 on the market looks like it's going for around about 35,000 coins, 34,000 coins. And there's only two Canales 87 on the market for 47,000 coins. So what we're going to do, we're just going to bump it up a bit to around about 52k. So these are all the Hunter Canales on the market at under 52k. So one at 47,500 and one at another again at 47,500. So there's only two under 52k, which means obviously this one's only been put on the market. It's been on the market for 8 minutes. If you could pick this card up for around about 40,000 coins, because what will happen is people will put this 87 one on for the 86 price, maybe at 38 or the low 40s. Then you're able to pick this card up and then maybe flip him on later in the evening, overnight sales for 49 to 50,000 coins. So the new team of the week has just been dropped. So I want to just go through some players that maybe you could look at for this method. So the players that I would recommend using this method that you can maybe buy in the first couple of days and they will fluctuate in a shadow price. Because as you said, because the cards just come out on the market, there's going to be less shadows and hunters of these players. So players like a Serbi, 85, again, because he's got 60 pace, he's not going to be really usable, but he's going to be one of the cheaper 85s. But because you've got a shadow, his price should fluctuate. Nacho Fernandez will be a good one. Henderson, again, even though he plays for a popular team in Liverpool in a popular league, is this card really usable? He's got 67 pace, but with a shadow card, again, his price, he'll be one of the cheaper 85s, of course. Mollet or whatever you Mollet, he in a hunter will be very good. Again, this card will probably be in a hunter like in the high 20s. Players like Guerrero, Porto, Redmond, De Jong, those kind of cards will be very effective for the method that I was talking about, where you just pick them up in the first couple of days between Wednesday, Saturday and Sunday, because there's not many of that card in Hunter Shadow on the market, and you should be able to sell those cards for a lot higher if you can time the purchases right. So this next way of making coins, guys, is not really like a specific trading method that I want you guys to go out and do, like a filter, for example. But it's more like a way of trading. And as you know, Run the Foot Market, all the big traders on Twitter, Foot Donk, they will probably use this method or this way of trading in pretty much in every single way they trade. And it's pretty much learning price fluctuations. I've mentioned it a lot on my videos, but I just want to show you a couple of deals that I've made. I'm going to post some pictures during this section, but I just want you guys to sort of understand, because in the long term, in my opinion, this is probably the best way to make coins. Like Run the Foot Market, people say, how comes he gets all these icons? And it's literally just looking at price graphs, see how much they went for the day before or how much they were going during that day, and then if there's a low point, he'll buy them and then sell them on. So for example, the example I'm going to use said that twice, by the way, but never mind, is going to be Virgil van Dijk Team of the Year nominee card. I know this video is strictly for 100 to 500, but the principle still remains the same. Just obviously look at players' special cards that are in your price range. If you've only got 150k, maybe look at players that are 60 to 70k, 80k. But anyway, let's get into the idea of the video. So yesterday, Virgil van Dijk, right, was around about 800,000 during the day. As you can see, early morning, 5 o'clock, he was around about 780 to 800,000. And then during the day, around about, between 9 o'clock and 12 o'clock, he was around about 830,000 coins, and he dipped here to about 771, and he spiked back up to 845,000. And as you can see, by the looks of it, going by yesterday's trend, this is a card that fluctuates a lot. So the idea is can we pick up this card on he's one of his lows and then sell him on one of his highs? So again, later that evening, around about, was it 7 o'clock? Yeah, 7 o'clock, he was 770k. I saw that he has been selling for around about 815, 820, because even though it says 850k, whether he sold at 850k is a completely different thing. He may not have sold because it doesn't actually tell you whether he sold or not. That was just his pricing point at that time. So getting into it, 773,000. I looked on an open bid and I was able to pick up a Virgil van Dijk, which you're going to see on the screen, for 751,000 coins, and I was able to sell him for 815,000 coins, which meant that I made a 23,500 coin profit after tax. And that was literally all I did. Was I looked at this graph, I noticed that he was selling for like over 800k during the day. There was an hour he dropped down to about 750,000 coins on open bid. I decided to pick him up. I then sold him for a decent profit. Literally, well, not a couple hours later. It took me an overnight sale for him to sell. Another example I want to show you guys is the Team of the Year nominee, Kante. I have been trading quite a lot with the Team of the Year nominees just because they've been working well for me. But again, if you've only got 200 or 300k, just adjust the players that you can be trading with within your kind of price range, because of course you don't want to be just buying one card. You want to be actively trading, because obviously I've got enough coins, I could buy a couple of these players. Well, anyway, Team of the Year Kante yesterday was again fluctuating quite a lot. These Team of the Year nominees look to be fluctuating quite a lot, and his high was around about 480,000 coins during this point, which is early part of the morning. And I've noticed that, guys, well, not noticed, but it's just a trend really, that if you sell cards overnight, of course, because there's less supply of them on the market, you can imagine that their price is a lot higher. So the idea is to pick them up in between peak hours, between maybe 6 and 9 p.m. UK time. Of course, if you're from other regions, that will be dependent on your time zone, and then sell them for overnight. So anyway, going into it, around about the same time as I picked up that Virgil van Dijk, about 6, 7 o'clock, as you can see here, Kante was 445,000 coins. So and again, this was like he maybe sniped straight away, but on open bids, I ended up picking up this card for around about 430k, which you're going to see on screen. Ended up selling him for 470, which I sold him literally an hour later. And those are the best trades, guys. Picking up a card and then selling him an hour later, a great flip. I made 16,500 coins. So guys, just as a quick overview for the methods in this video, if you're going to be using the first trading method regarding the informs, just make sure to understand the price fluctuations of a card. Trade with the 82 to 86, maybe even 87 players. They're not usable. Like Canales is not really a usable card in FIFA, but because of the Hunter card and even maybe the Shadow card with that card, then the price fluctuations is there, so you can make coins. And regarding the method that I used on Footbin regarding reading price trends, reading what card goes for what at what certain time of the day. Guys, if you've only got 150k, 200k, maybe looking at special cards within your region, 50, 60k, like those Canales, they would be a little bit more, realistic for you guys. And of course, just remember that Future Stars is coming, so don't, hold players for a serious amount of time. Maybe wait till after 6 p.m. before you begin trading, just to see how the market reacts to a potential drop or a loading screen by ear. But that's going to be the end of the video, guys. If you're new around here, please hit the subscribe button. Please leave a like, and I'll catch you in the next video. See you later.